against San Diego State is to get predictable because they're a good defense. They're a really, really good defense, and they're a good offense too. So, Utah State's got to tackle. I don't think I mentioned this, but one of my keys on defense just sounds simple, but they've got to wrap up and tackle guys. That defensive line we'll talk about. The recruiting needs here in a second, but that defensive line is really experienced, but they really haven't come up with huge plays. It seems like a couple years ago, B.J. Larson was every third and long. It seems like B.J. Larson came up with a big play. It seems like when the defense needed to get something going. A couple years ago, Seafelt or Moala or B.J. Larson or one of these guys would come up with a huge play. And have we seen anything resembling that this year from the defensive line? I don't remember any any real big plays like that. So that's been disappointing this year. I think that can change. I think the defensive line will finish the season out strong, and I think they have tons of opportunities to show us that. So
Yeah, I totally agree. Like you said, San Diego State's defense, they probably got one of the best corners in the league,
right.
In the Mountain West. So obviously we got to keep an eye on that guy. And they bring pressure. Myers, good grief, he just got knocked all over the place last year by those guys.
Yeah, and the offensive line's gotta come through and play better than last year. But that's what I'm saying is if the play calling and they mix it up and everything, I think that helps a ton. An offensive line be able to protect the quarterback when you're not, just everybody stacking the box or blitzing because they know you're passing the ball. So, so hopefully that'll happen because I think the Aggies do need to get some big plays. They do need to make things happen deep. Throw the ball all the way to the end zone, which that's what I've been saying all season is throw the ball all the way to the end zone. And obviously part of that is protecting the quarterback. I don't put that all on Myers or the play calling necessarily, but take some chances, throw it to the end zone, and try to get those big plays. So, but maybe unless you have something urgent that you wanted to talk about, we're at 33 minutes right now, so we've got 12 minutes is all. But what are your biggest needs going into recruiting? Looking more at the guys that are graduating. I think defensive end has got to be really high on the list, and offensive line. Those two positions have got to be, 1A and 1B for sure. Um, every year I think if you can find a quarterback, obviously that's a huge key to every class. And same thing with running back, maybe wide receiver, an athlete type of player. But what are your thoughts on really the needs for next year?
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head. I think defensive ends really needs to be focused on quite a bit. D tackles, we got a lot of good young talent at D tackles.
Yeah.
Linebackers, a lot of good linebackers. I'm kind of worried about the middle linebackers a little bit. It would be nice to see if they could get a JUCO guy that could come in and actually contribute maybe next year. Receivers, again, a lot of young guys. I mean, you got Rayshad be back. Tarver will be back. Tarver will be a junior next year. Rayshad will be a sophomore. You lose Rodriguez. Hopefully Dax Raymond's healthy next year because Houston will be gone. And that'll be kind of a big, I don't know, a big need. We have talent there. Hastings, he's not redshirting anymore. He's been playing a little bit on special teams and maybe in a few packages. I didn't see him much against the Fresno game.
Who are you talking about?
Hastings.
Oh yeah. Hastings is in there. He's not redshirting.
Um, but yeah, I think they're always gonna take a quarterback, and Evans out of Las Vegas, he's playing quarterback, but I don't. They recruited him as an athlete. He told me that personally, and
Hmm.
I think they'll give him a chance. They might give him a shot there, but that's a pretty heavy group if you think about it. Myers will be back.
Right.
Hobbs will be back. DJ is going to be back. You got Love. He looked really good. Clumby's coming out of Florida. That kid looks really, really good. And I think Evans, that kid, he looks like a D1 athlete right now.
Right.
And I don't know, if they'll try him at receiver, at safety, where they're going to put him. Levitt will be back next year. You got Rock back there. Um, I mean, you lose Centers. Centers is a senior this year, so he'll be gone. So they're going to need to find another one of those combo guys. Centers, he lines up everywhere. Nickel, dime, at corner and then back at safety. He's all over the place. It'd be nice to find another versatile guy like him.
You didn't
And
mention Jens Painter.
oh yeah, and Jens is going to be gone. That guy was everywhere
Yeah.
against Fresno. But yeah, I think defensive end for sure, and offensive line. Obviously, they lose some guys. They got a couple guys that are redshirting this year that I think will play next year. I would think. The JUCO guy helped me out that we got last year that hasn't played. I'm
Taylor?
assuming he's gonna. Yeah, I'm assuming Taylor's gonna redshirt if he's got a red shirt. Maybe he's
I
not a
don't
two.
think he has a red shirt, but
Was he a 2-for-2 guy? Um,
mm, I don't know. I'll
we'll
have
have to
to.
look into that. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll look into that.
but yeah, I think offensive line for sure. And they'll always. I'm sure they'll get a receiver here and there. They just offered the Van Leeuwen kid that I talked about. I don't
Yeah.
know, it was 3 or 4 podcasts ago. I didn't know if he'd be an offer kid or if a walk-on opportunity, but they offered him. But he's a Mission kid, so
Yeah, they offered
we'll
quite a few
see.
Mission kids.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. We got to look to see what Mission kids are coming back next year.
Right.
That kind of gets forgot about sometimes, but I think they just need to keep building. The offensive line, defensive line, your linebackers, your running backs, and then go out from there. I think that's. I'm just basing that off of what I know. Iowa's not this powerhouse program, but how they can recruit to Iowa. It's a little bit harder to recruit to Iowa than it is to Columbus or Michigan or a place like that. And I kind of put Utah State in the same category. It's harder to recruit to Logan sometimes it is San Diego or to, well, you wouldn't think Boise, but they have the tradition. They're kind of climates are kind of sixes between
Right.
Logan and Boise, but they've won a few of the big games, the marquee games, and Utah State just hasn't done that yet. But I think they got to build it from the inside out. That's what I'd do, But I'm sitting on my couch right now talking to
They've
you.
gotta
So
upgrade the offensive line and defensive line for that matter. Because
yeah,
I just went on a rant about the defensive line and the other thing. Maybe jumping back, sorry, to the San Diego State game is they've been rotating quite a few linebackers in and everything, and I don't really care who plays. I think some guys like Anthony Williams give him the best chance to win because Anthony Williams is the most athletic, fastest guy that you can put out there. But they've gotta come through and make tackles and also that being said they've got to replace those inside linebackers like Carmen and Wasike and Anthony Williams. So
yeah,
that's
and
going
I
to be
think
huge in recruiting.
well, and that's what's really important too about making a bowl game this year, because it just gives those extra practices to those younger guys
Right.
that might not be seeing a ton of time, but it gives them extra practice time and extra time with the coaches and stuff like that they won't get if they don't make a bowl game.
Yep. Yep. Any bowl game's a good bowl game. It's interesting because I keep saying I'm just kind of looking through the list of seniors with Kennedy Williams graduating. It would be nice to replace him with somebody like Josh Davis from Alta. You know, get a few cornerbacks in here to increase the depth to go along with Davis and Haney. I think Haney's been pretty good overall in the opportunities that he's had, but I think there'd be some playing time available if a cornerback, a high school or JC cornerback came in. They would definitely get an opportunity. Same thing with defensive end. They'd definitely get an opportunity. Um, in offensive line for that matter as well. I think, I mean, with all the guys on the offensive and defensive line graduating, it's just a numbers thing too. I mean, they need to bring in some offensive linemen to compete and to add some depth. That's my biggest thing is if they didn't bring in, um, say they don't bring in a safety necessarily or whatever, or a tight end, certain things you can kind of work around, but offensive line, you've got to have guys.
Yeah, and I think cornerback is going to be another position that really need to keep an eye on as well. You mentioned a little bit, but
Right.
Davis will be a senior next year, and then he'll be gone. Is Gray a junior this year, or is he a senior?
Gray's a senior.
Gray's a senior, so he'll be gone. Bailey,
Mm-hmm.
he's a junior. He's redshirted last year, didn't he? So
Yeah,
he's a
Bailey will
junior
be
this
back.
year. So he'll be back, but as a senior, so I mean, you're going to be, after next year, you're going to be losing a lot of these core guys. So
Mm-hmm.
Haney's playing; he's getting some time right now.
Yeah, Jens Painter, Austin
And
Cheney, Daniel Gray, they're all seniors. So
yeah,
those
I mean, I
guys,
think we're pretty good. I think at safety.
Marquand
For a
Ellison,
little,
Devin Centers, they graduate, but yeah, you've got some younger guys that can step in probably.
yeah. So I think cornerback would be another position that they'll probably go after and try to nab a couple guys.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because they're kind of, obviously this is, I'm naming most of the, a lot of different positions, but they've got multiple tight ends that are graduating, multiple linebackers, multiple offensive linemen, a lot of defensive linemen, a couple safeties, a couple cornerbacks. So I mean, they're losing quite a bit. They're losing. A couple wide receivers, but at the slot position, they should be okay as well. Even if they don't sign a instant impact guy, maybe. Um, but I mean, obviously, when you sign a signing class, when you sign a guy, you hope he can come in and play. It just doesn't always happen that way, but
Yeah, and I mean, you got Lewis. I mean, they played him. They moved him from slot to the outside, then back to the slot position. So I mean,
right.
he's kind of, they can kind of put him where they want him. I mean, I would like somebody on the outside that's taller than 5'10". I mean, that's just me personally. But I mean, you got Tarver on one side, and Roberts will be back. Roberts is going to be a senior next year. Tarver will be junior. Yeah, junior. So I mean, you're only really losing Rodriguez, and I mean that's a big
Right.
loss. I mean he's a good weapon to have.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean, we haven't
always
really
solid.
seen him on punt return or anything, but he's really solid. He's got really good hands. On the offensive side, I could see Van Leeuwen kind of filling that role of a Rodriguez. I mean, he's not as fast or whatever, but for possession type, balls, I think he'd fill that role pretty well. But I still think that they're going to go after, one or two high school receivers and maybe even a JUCO guy,
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't know. Colston Green, is he a junior this year?
Yeah, he's
Haven't
a
really
junior
seen
this
much
year.
of him, so I mean he'll be back, and I mean Byers will be back. So I mean a lot of these
Basically
we're getting a
everybody
lot
back.
of those guys back. So
Cool. Yeah. So obviously we're running out of time. Thanks for listening.